Office of the Attorney General and Minister responsible for housing. Please leave a message indicating the area of concern you are calling about, or forward the Attorney General an email to ag.minister@gov.bc.ca. That email address is ag.minister@gov.bc.ca. We will endeavor to respond to your call and concerns as soon as possible. Please be advised and note that telephone messages containing profanity and abusive language will not be returned. Effective November 26, 2020, the responsibility for ICBC has been assigned to the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General. The contact phone number for Minister Farnworth is 250-356-2178 in Victoria. That number again is 250-356-2178 in Victoria. Thanks again for taking the time to call. After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
This is Victoria Evans calling back. I've called again previously because the Attorney General, David Eby, refuses to serve me or act in accordance with the professional conduct he is required by law to follow. I am calling because I need every single piece of paperwork that's been filed in another fraudulent action brought against me by criminals acting as the Victoria Police Department, who have now involved criminals acting as the Saanich Police Department to violently not only assault me, gaslight me. Apparently, there is a warrant for my arrest. I have issued in writing a restraining order against all members of the Victoria and Saanich Police Departments for historic violent acts towards me and my family. David Eby, you're the head of the Minister for Housing. Interesting, Mr. Eby, because I've had my home stolen by agents of CIBC and agents of the BC Supreme Court, who then decided it was going to be a good idea to embezzle $600,000 from me, leaving me homeless and destitute on purpose. And now you're trying to involve me in a malicious prosecution? You're now trying to sue me once again into suicide? I need to talk to you, Mr. Eby. You need to speak to me, Mr. Eby. Because now what I require, due to your lack of concern for my health, welfare, and my safety, is now I'm going to have to require the bond information for not only you, but every single BC government public servant agent who's committing not only indictable crime against me, but also committing a myriad of civil trespasses against me, and these matters need to be handled immediately. Now, I need a team put together of advocates because I have to sue CIBC in the federal courts of Canada here in British Columbia because the federal government is the ones who govern the banks. And yes, I'm afraid it is the truth, as it is written in Micah 2:2 of the Bible that sits on every witness box of every courtroom in Canada, that yes, homes are stolen and yes, entire inheritances are embezzled. Now, the truth that that's happened to me and the truth that I continually tell the truth to all of you public servant agents who then do nothing for me, you have now forced me into prostitution. That is a crime. You couldn't even treat a war criminal like you've treated me. You have left me out here with no money. You've left me out here with no home. You've left me out here with no relief and absolutely no remedy and nowhere to go to get any of that justice served to me and my family. I'm not lying. I don't tell lies. I've told the truth every single time I've had a problem, yet I am treated with a level of hatred and disrespect by public servants of British Columbia that has now become absolutely life-threatening to me. I am terrified. I can't even leave my room now because of the violent assaults, the criminal harassment that's been done to me by agents of Victoria PD and agents of Saanich PD. Now, what I require from this office is you have access to all the paperwork. I need the names of every single public servant agent acting as the Victoria and Saanich Police Department since I have engaged them again, November 27th, 2021, to seize my stolen property from trespassers, and they have refused to step in and help me. So I need the names of all of these persons, because all of these persons are responsible in their personal capacity. You all have bonds. I need access to the bonds because I need to be paid for all the harm, loss, and injury that has been caused to me intentionally by you agents acting as the provincial government of British Columbia. I do not consent to a fraudulent warrant. I do not consent to your fraudulent charges. I do not consent to more satanic ritual abuse by any of you public servant agents in British Columbia. Now, I require this information before the end of the day because I now personally have to move this matter for myself because you refuse to put together advocates for me. This is a level of racism, discrimination, and hatred for me because of my race, because of my cultural heritage, because of my native language. I'm not a liar. I don't have any lies to tell. And I need service, and I need service now from competent men and women who understand the truth. And for some reason, none of those individuals exist who are acting as public servant agents for the province of British Columbia. Now, I do need to I could actually arrest, citizens arrest, the agents acting as BC Supreme Court who not only aided and abetted the theft of my home in a fraudulent foreclosure petition, but then they decided to embezzle every dollar of a trust fund. That's right, it's a trust fund. You do not get to steal trust fund money from anybody in Canada. Not only is it illegal, it's unlawful. And yes, there's a difference, and yes, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm an expert in the subject matter of which I speak. And you have to, by law, you have to legally provide me with this information because I have the right to access justice. I have the right to access relief. I have the right to access remedy. And I have the right to inform you that I will not be consenting to any more criminal harassment, any more uttering threats, any more intimidation by any agent acting as the provincial government of British Columbia. And that includes your entire courts, who, by the way, you don't have any jurisdiction over me because your courts are the individual criminal organization that continues to commit acts of barbarity and genocide to cause me to commit suicide, which I'm not going to do. I know you all want me to commit suicide. I'm not going to do that for you. I'm going to fight you and do to all of you who have done this to me so you can feel what I feel, because where I come from, law is eye for eye, tooth for tooth. And I have the right to practice my culture in this country. So saith the acts, codes, statutes, and bylaws that bind all of you public servants. Do you understand the information that you're required to provide to me forthwith? Because I am quashing the warrant for my arrest. I have a lawful right and duty to quash the warrant for my arrest. I have lawful and rightful duty to inform all agents of Saanich and Victoria Police Departments you are not permitted to come near me. I'm placing a implied contract of restraining order against all agents of Victoria and Saanich Police Departments, both of whom are criminal organizations, quite obviously. That's why it's going to be defunded. Because you offer nothing to the community other than a level of ugliness that is criminal in nature. Do we understand each other? Do we understand each other? I certainly hope so, Mr. Eby. You have refused for years to even respond to any of the issues I'm facing. Now, why would that be, Mr. Eby? Because I do need an answer from you, and you personally need to respond. You're a public servant. You're not going to continue to show hatred towards me because you don't like the truth that I have to tell. Do we understand each other? Failure to serve, Mr. Eby, is actually the indictable crime of fraud. Yes, Mr. Eby, are you aware of the Criminal Code of Canada? Because I know that none of the agents of the Victorian Saanich Police Department are aware of the Criminal Code of Canada. That's why they continually violate my rights, continually committing indictable trespasses and civil trespasses against me. And no, the theft of my home and embezzlement of $700,000 is not a civil matter. It's a criminal matter. Okay? Okay? I'm sick and tired of the hatred, discrimination, and failure to serve me because of my race, my gender, my cultural heritage, my ethnic identity, and my native language. This is going to stop. So now you've been informed. The other thing is, I can't even leave my room now. I'm terrified I'm going to be violently assaulted and attacked by criminals acting as Saanich PD. I can't even afford to pay my rent. I've been raped multiple times. I was forced into prostitution by agents acting as CIBC, by agents acting as BC Law Society members, and agents acting as BC Supreme Court, and all of that needs to be explained to me. While you don't understand what I understand. Do we understand each other? Good. I'm going to need that information before the end of the day. You have been given clear instructions. You're now fully and completely informed. I have full right and authority and jurisdiction and jurisprudence to quash the fraudulent, demonic, satanic order for my fraudulent, violent assault via the way of arrest for a crime. You don't even have Rens Mea. You're never going to be able to prove that I am guilty of criminal harassment of the two individuals who are fraudulently holding my stolen property, renting it out to make themselves money. That property has been obtained by the commission of crime. It's my right, it's my duty to take back my property. And David Eby, you're the Minister of Housing. You don't leave a homeless widow out in the cold with nowhere to go and no money, forcing her into prostitution, because that's an act of genocide. And you're completely aware of what's been going on because you get contacted repeatedly by me and you refuse to serve me. That's called stonewalling. In my culture, it's called satanic ritual abuse. And Mr. Eby, you will be held responsible in your personal capacity. Because you have to be, because of that's law, and that's justice, and that's relief, and that's remedy. Do we understand each other? Excellent.